What if I told you that you could protect your eyesight and keep your mind sharp not with pills or gadgets, but by improving the tiny blood vessels that feed your eyes and your brain? Doctors who study microcirculation have been saying it for years. When those delicate vessels stiffen, clog, or leak, vision fades and thinking slows. Today I'm going to reveal the simple food-first routine that supports healthy circulation to your retinas and your brain so you can see clearer, think quicker, and age better. I'm not a doctor. This is educational, based on published research and expert guidance. If you have a medical condition or take medication, talk to your healthcare provider before you make changes. Before we dive in, hit like and subscribe, and drop a comment. What's your biggest goal? Sharper vision? Better focus? Or both? Here's the core idea in plain English. Your eyes and your brain run on tiny highways capillaries that are thinner than a human hair. Those vessels deliver oxygen and nutrients, then carry away waste. When they're flexible and clear, light gets turned into crisp images, neurons fire smoothly, and you feel alert. When they're inflamed or clogged, your retina and brain don't get what they need, and you notice it as fuzzy text, glare at night, slow focus shifts, brain fog, or headaches after screens. So the question isn't what magical eye trick fixes everything. The question is, how do we keep those microvessels calm, flexible, and well-fed? Doctors point to 4 levers you can control every day: what you eat, how you move, how you sleep, and how you manage pressure on the system: blood pressure, blood sugar, and oxidative stress. Let's build you a daily routine that quietly works on all 4 without turning your life upside down. Start with the foods that nourish the eye itself. Your retina concentrates to pigment-slatin and zeaxanthine that act like internal sunglasses. You'll find them in egg yolks and deep green vegetables like spinach and kale. You don't need to slam raw yolks. That's a food safety risk and not necessary. Lightly cooked eggs, greens, or a smoothie with spinach and avocado give you a steady, safe supply. When people add these regularly, many report less glare, less eye strain, and better contrast, especially at night. Next, color your plate with anthocyanins, the deep blues and purples, and blueberries and blackberries. These compounds help defend fragile capillaries against oxidative stress. In real life, that means the microvessels that feed your retina and brain are less likely to get leaky or stiff. A handful of berries a few times a week is an easy win. If fresh isn't around, frozen is fine there. Picked at peak and retain most of the goodness. Now bring in omega-3 south from fatty fish like salmon, sardines, or mackerel 2 to 3 times a week. Omega-3 south are structural building blocks in the retina and support the tear film that keeps eyes comfortable. People who add fish regularly often notice less dryness and less sandpaper feeling after long screen days. You're plant-based. Aim for a mix of walnuts, chia, flax, and algae-based omega-3 supplements. Those provide the DHA your eyes and brain prefer. Layer vitamin C and vitamin E foods for vessel resilience. Citrus, kiwis, bell peppers, and broccoli supply C. Almonds, sunflower seeds, and olive oil supply E. Together, they help your body recycle antioxidants. So the constant light exposure your eyes handle all day, dosen. T translate into constant damage. Don't skip nitrates from leafy greens and beets. Your body converts dietary nitrates to nitric oxide, a compound that helps relax blood vessels so blood flows where it needs to go, yes, including the tiny arteries behind your eyes. A simple salad with arugula or a small beet and apple salad can be enough to nudge flow in the right direction. What about the orange foods everyone mentions? Carrots, pumpkin, sweet potato? They're still worth it.
Added carotene.
Converts to vitamin A as needed. Vitamin A supports the surface of the eye and low light vision. You don't need miracle claims, just steady intake. Roast a tray of orange vegetables on Sunday and add a scoop to lunches and dinners. Now let's talk about what to dial down, not because you need a perfect diet, but because a few habits quietly hammer microcirculation. Ultra-processed foods loaded with refined sugars and industrial oils drive blood sugar spikes and chronic inflammation. Hit capillaries first. You'll notice it as afternoon brain fog and heavy, irritated eyes. Keep it simple. Swap packaged sweets for fruit and dark chocolate. Trade deep-fried snacks for nuts or roasted chickpeas. And use olive oil instead of seed oil-heavy dressings. Salt isn't evil, but high-salt processed foods can nudge up pressure inside the eye, and the arteries feeding it especially. If you dainty balance with potassium-rich foods like greens, beans, and potatoes. And about caffeine, you don't have to quit coffee, but batch it earlier in the day and keep portions reasonable. Sensitive people feel less eye pressure and sleep better when they cut off caffeine by early afternoon. Movement is the quiet multiplier. Your eyes are part of your brain. When you walk, your heart pumps, blood vessels dilate, and you send fresh blood to the head. Mini walks 2 to 10 minutes after meals help flatten glucose spikes and take pressure off delicate vessels. If you work at a computer, set a tiny goal. Every hour, stand, roll your shoulders, and look 20 feet away for 20 seconds. That 20-20-20 micro habit reduces ciliary muscle strain, the little focusing muscle that gets locked by hours of close work. Sleep is non-negotiable. Deep sleep is when your brain's waste clearance system works hardest, and when the eye's surface repairs. People often tell me their vision is worse after short or fragmented sleep. What they really noticing is poor tear film and sluggish focus. Give yourself a wind down. Dim lights an hour before bed, screens off or on night mode, a cooler bedroom, and consistent timing. Your eyes and brain will repay you every morning. Let's answer a few objections before we build your week. We need supplements, food first. If your diet is thin on greens and fish, talk to your clinician about a basic omega-3 and a lutein zeaxanthin formula used in eye health research. But don't self-dose blindly. More isn't always better. Does coffee cause glaucoma? Sensitivity varies. Some people notice temporary eye pressure changes after high caffeine. Many do fine with a cup or two. If you have glaucoma risk or concerns, ask your eye doctor about caffeine timing and pressure checks. Should I eat egg yolks every day? Include eggs if they fit your plan. But they're not the only path to lutein. Greens and pistachios carry it too. And again, no raw eggs. You can absorb lutein from cooked foods. It's time to make it real with a 7-day plan you can start tonight. You don't need to overhaul everything. Just stack small wins. Tonight, add a green starter to dinner, a handful of arugula with olive oil and lemon, or steamed spinach with garlic. Follow dinner with a 5-minute walk while you tidy the kitchen and look out a window at something far away to relax your focusing muscles. Tomorrow morning, build an eye and brain breakfast, a veggie omelet with spinach and peppers, or Greek yogurt with chia, walnuts, and blueberries. Make coffee earlier in the day and hydrate with water between cups. Mid-morning, look 20 feet away for 20 seconds while you refill your water. On day 3, add a color rule to lunch, something green and something orange on the plate, say. A salad plus roasted sweet potato alongside salmon or chickpeas. Finish with a short walk and soft eye movements. Look left, right, up, down slowly without straining. On day 4, choose fatty fish for dinner or go plant-based with a lentil walnut mix over greens. Swap packaged dessert for a few squares of dark chocolate and berries. Screens off 45 minutes earlier than usual. Your eyes will feel less gritty the next morning. On day 5, make a nitrate boost, arugula beet, and citrus salad with olive oil. If you're sensitive to beets, blend a small beet with apple and lemon for a mini shot. Keep salt from processed foods low today, and load potassium with beans or a baked potato. On day 6, clean up your snacks, almonds or pistachios instead of chips. Carrot sticks with hummus instead of crackers. If dry eyes bug you, add a humidifier or take screen breaks with slow blinks. Close your eyes. Count to 3. Open and refocus. On day 7, stack everything. Green starter, colorful plate, omega-2-3 berries, short walks after meals. 20-20-20 vision breaks every hour and a consistent bedtime in a cool, dark room. Then notice the difference. Clearer night driving, easier focus shifts, calmer eyes, and steadier mental energy. If you're already under care for eye disease or cognitive concerns, use this as support, not a substitute. Keep regular eye exams, manage your blood pressure, blood sugar, and lipids with your clinician. And treat smoking as the non-negotiable. To drop tobacco is brutal on blood vessels, especially the tiny ones in your eyes. Let's recap your mantra so it sticks when life gets busy. Feed the vessels, flatten the spikes, move the blood, protect the surface, and sleep to repair. In foods, that means greens and egg yolks for lutein and zeaxanthin. berries and colorful vegetables for antioxidant defense, omega-3 south for the retina and tear film, vitamin C and E foods for vessel resilience, and nitrates from greens and beets for healthy flow. In habits, that means short walks after meals, 20-20-20 breaks for screens, steady sleep, and simple swaps away from ultra-processed snacks. If this helped, hit like, make sure you're subscribed for weekly practical health upgrades. And tell me in the comments, which change will you put in place? First greens and eggs, berries and fish, or the 2-minute after-meal walk?